Go.
Hey everybody, this is our first video. It's actually, this was inspired by a gentleman named Ben who had a couple of them on YouTube, and he helped me out with a couple of things. I appreciated his video, so I wanted to share with anybody else what our problem was here. Maybe we can help somebody else. This is a tractor. It's a Murray 19 horsepower. It was left out in the weather, even though it was well covered. It was left out for one season, and from everything I've read, that is just not something you should do. A lot of things can go wrong, especially with the rust buildup on electrical connections. Our ignition switch has been changed out. This was very rusty. We believe that that was a problem, so we changed that out, and that was very simple. Access is right down here under this plate cover. We then changed out the solenoid because we were getting no clicking going on. The solenoid's very simple to replace. You got to make sure that you got some good clean area down here so it's grounded out well. So we actually sanded off a little bit of the paint when we bolted that down. Even though we changed that, we have new spark plugs, we still didn't get a spark. So the next place to go is to take a look at the safety switches. Now, I wasn't comfortable with how to disable safety switches, so I had learned that underneath the magneto, which is this, there is this grounding wire. By disconnecting this grounding wire, you basically disable the safety switches. So you should be able to get spark by disconnecting this, providing your magneto is good.
Magneto.
Magneto. The magneto, however, we question as to whether it's good or not. We still got no spark after disconnecting this. We've got the spark plug sitting right over here. It's up against the head of the cylinder. When we crank the engine, we get absolutely no spark jumping over here, so we still have a problem with spark. What we did notice is if we take a look at this magneto, the ends were very rusted, and we cleaned up one side. Wanted to show the audience this side how bad it was. And if we take a look at the flywheel, we can see how rusted over here this flywheel was. This was indicative of the whole flywheel. And I'll spin it a little bit so you can see we cleaned it up for the most part.
Shiny.
Very easy, just a little emery cloth cleans that up. And I understand if you put a slight thin coating of oil on there, it can help to stop it from rusting in the future. However, we're not sure if any of this is going to work. Only by cleaning this up and putting this back on there, which is very simple. It's just 2 bolts. We place it right here. Keep in mind, Scott, I'm not sure if you can see down in here where this goes here. You want to keep the gap between the magneto and the flywheel about a business card's distance. So I'm going to just spin this around a little bit. And as we put this here, if you could see that space, you want to have a business card slip right in there, and that's about the right spot. Now the way this works is really simple. Over here, if we take a look, right in here is a permanent magnet. This magnet, as it spins around, a current is developed through the magneto and its windings. But in order to generate the current necessary to get a spark to the spark plug, this current that's being built up through the spinning of the flywheel needs to be interrupted. That's where the magnet comes in. The magnet actually abruptly interrupts the current and helps to form a greater current in the process. If you're interested, you can certainly read up on magnetos and find out more about how they work. It's quite nifty. Anyway, we're going to clean this up, and we're going to come back, and hopefully we're going to get spark. If not, our magneto is already on order, because I really didn't like the looks of this anyway, and that'll be coming to us in just a few days, and then we'll come back and hopefully that'll get the engine turning over. The bottom line is that changing some of these electrical components, the magneto, the solenoid, the ignition switch, and even in here we've got 2 air filters, all important in the functioning of this engine. Cost less than about $80 to have shipped to us, so it was worth changing them rather than just having this engine run perhaps roughly with a magneto that might just really need changing. This tractor is from 1994, so it's really had a good life so far. But I think we've got a lot more years to go, and as I said, we're not using it as a lawnmower, we're just using it as a garden tractor. So we'll be back, and hopefully we'll get some spark.
Goodbye, everybody!